wasps want to come in real bad.
Yeah, that's a terrible place to build a nest, but they want to try.
This looks great. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. I like it.
So I just unloaded the parts.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're doing this weekend.
So
we are doing truck work.
we got to work on the truck. So here's the problem. We got struts, we got shocks, we got oil, we got a filter.
Rotors.
We got rotors. Keep looking. Yeah. For whatever reason, the brake pads, I think, are still on the counter.
Did we pay for them?
Yes.
Oh,
We did, but we didn't bring them.
let's go back. Come on.
Yeah. We'll get groceries while we're out. So much for being efficient.
Wallet and keys.
Thank you. Still works, huh?
Today. One day it won't and we'll go manual. But until then, save the money.
Look at it go.
What is that, like $1,500 in parts?
Right there? Yes. Well, minus the brake pads we don't have.
La 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 la. Look at that.
Do they look as good on camera?
They look so sparkly
Mm-hmm.
and so nice.
Got your present.
You did? It's the best kind of present. You know I love glitter. Glamour shot. La 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 la.
This week is about maintaining our tow vehicle. We've got some work that needs to be done to the truck. So I did spend about $1,500 in parts at Napa.
We knew this was coming. We saved up for it.
Yeah, we knew this was coming. It's got to be done. Hoping to save a couple $1,000s in shop rate by doing some of this work myself.
Let's get to it. Smell a blaster in the morning. It's gonna be a good day, buddy. Surprise.
Treadwear still seems even. It's good news. Starting with the front struts on this, I think it's the hardest part of the work. So my goal here is to get this going. If I can't get it done, I'll still have part of the day tomorrow after work to finish up. But yeah, front struts first.
Because it's the hardest, you want to front load what could be the biggest time suck.
Exactly. If I can't get something loose here, it could be quite a time suck. Hoping for the best.
Well, we did this before on the 2008, and that was rusty because it was a New England truck.
Yeah, I'm hoping this one goes easier. But there's that bolt I'm working on now. We'll switch to a ratchet. It's a 14mm wrench on top of the struts. There's 4 bolts, the same. Got 3 out of 4 off here. Just going for the last one. And 4 nuts at the top. I don't really want to go crazy and loosen more things than I need to, but I don't want to fight this for half an hour and then realize I should have loosened something else.
I can't remember the 2008 job. I know we did it.
Yeah. Haven't purchased an impact yet, a big impact to be able to do this type of thing, although it's on my radar. I also don't want to be on anybody else's radar because we're doing this in the campground. So hand tools is good enough right now. We can do things quietly. Might take a little longer, but I'm okay with that.
Said the guy who's on call and might have to finish the project tomorrow.
Fair.
Unfortunately, we're doing one tire at a time. I can't really help very much beyond filming.
Yeah, but I also don't want to get over our head too much, and we're okay doing one tire at a time.
How can I help?
Don't know.
I'm afraid to get in there.
But now I'm working with the tools I got. I think it's oak though. Good quality.
It's coming out. I can see it move.
My guess is there's no way I can hand pull that out of there, so I've got to put a punch in and pound it out.
You're gonna be sore tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
How's that desk job treating you, big guy?
Sounds like a few hours of exercise all day long. My goal is to get this to drop just enough so that the bottom of the strut clears and I can pull it out and slide the new one in place.
Yep. Pry. Keep going. A little more at the top. How you had it before. Okay, now can we slide something in under it on the side? See that gap? A little more. Yep, yep. Keep going. Work it slow. Really good.
It's just gonna pop.
I know, but yikes.
It's enough to get around and up. Okay. Top side here, it says out, and I've lost track of where that is because I can't see. Do you see it? Up on top.
I think it's only for the all the way back corner. Turn it. There's a green line on the right hand side between those two. Yep.
I've got the 4 nuts up top all tight, and I'm starting to get this lined up down below and into the pocket for that bottom bolt.
Hopefully the next side goes faster because
I did an extra step or two, yes.
we learned a lot. And it's hard because we don't do this work all the time, and so we have forgotten how we did it last time.
Just a few steps. But we're back on track. We should have it stitched up shortly.
Before we get the brake on, you want some frozen protein?
Yes, please.
Here.
Thank you. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That shock is in there and tight. It's now time to deal with this. Brake time. I mean, I'm not stopping. It's just like it's time to work on the brakes. That's cold. That's what I needed.
It's not nearly as hot today. It's like 20 degrees cooler than it usually is.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'm not even sure it's 87 like it was supposed to be.
I'll take
feel
it.
more than like
You got schmutz on your
85.
chin. It's like
Probably got more now.
no. It's on your chin.
Thank you.
We have a massive amount of dishes in the house.
Never should get a new house.
I'm wondering if I just burn it down. I'm wondering if I need to. You've completely missed it. I guess the question is, do you need me or?
I might be able to use a little help. Yeah.
All right. I guess dishes will wait. I am going to take this empty inside.
I've taken this clamp here and used it like this to spread the brakes a little bit. You can see that the pads have a little gap now. This wire clip holds the pins here and here from falling out or rotating. I've removed the first one. I've loosened the second one. All I need to do now is drive this pin out, and I should be able to pull the brake pads back. Now, main plan here is to remove the entire caliper so that I can take the disc off. So I'm gonna start with the 2 bolts in the back on the caliper next. Barely enough room for the breaker bar, but I had to use it just to get
Leverage.
a little bit of leverage to get that started. 17 millimeter. Could you get me 2 paint cans from over yonder?
Yes.
I've taken a 12 millimeter to loosen where the brake line is secured. I'm gonna take that off carefully and set it a little bit aside. According to YouTube, the perfect height is a pair of paint cans. I'm gonna see if that's true right now.
And what does that gain us? It means we don't have to disconnect the brakes, therefore we're not necessarily going to need to bleed them, is that?
Exactly. If we don't need to open a brake line, we shouldn't have to bleed the brakes or do anything too crazy to get these pads working correctly once we're done. I've got this loose now. I'm just gonna lift it carefully and see if I can convince it to go up and over to here. I don't want to put too much strain on that brake line. All right, success there. I hit this a couple times with a hammer and wood block, but there's no point in making a lot of noise to try to get this off because there's 2 screw holes here, or bolt holes rather, and if you've got a bolt with the right thread, all you've got to do is crank it down, and there it is. It knocks this loose, and we can work it off.
All right.
See how that'll just go through and push? I've pried these back to get enough clearance, and I think, yep, I can carefully drag this out. Now, placement left and right and inner and outer is key here, so I'm gonna make sure I've got them matched up right. But I'm gonna go ahead and replace 1 pad at a time and match them up and just add a little grease on the back as we go. Yeah, it seems to fit tight in the space. Take this one out while we've got it propped up. Got this little squealer at the bottom, matches this one here. So I think that's, I keep doing it backwards.
Backwards or upside down?
I think it's like that. See how that hooks over but sets? This one. There, see? It holds it there, goes in the hole, holds it there, goes in the hole. We have done the other side. Now I know exactly what we need to do and what we don't need to touch on this side to make it faster. So, it should take us about 15 minutes for the strut and the brakes.
Liar.
I am lying. I'm so lying, but it'll get faster, I promise.
All right, so what are you doing to start?
Loosening a couple suspension parts I know I need to loosen. So this sway bar link here, I'm gonna come down and loosen underneath down here at the bottom of the ball joint, and that'll allow this to drop to make clearance for the strut to come out. You can't hear our noise over the power sweeper they have on the Bobcat they're driving around with. I'm doing okay.
It's so frightening.
Just taking off the new nuts. Glad to have some new nuts to use. Going to slide this up in the way the other one just came out. That went a lot faster on this side now. Definitely remember how to do it. Just had to do a little practice to remember. And good shape to finish this next one pretty quick.
Famous last words. Famous.
There will not be any problems. On a roll. Might be hard to see, but these are ovalized. That's common on suspension parts, and it keeps them from backing off and loosening up on their own. We're at a good place right here on the left side now. I've got the strut in place. 4 bolts up top are in place and tight. The main bolt at the bottom is tight. I've still got to put the sway bar bolt in right here, and then those 2 bolts that are hard to see that go up underneath where the ball joint is on the bottom. Almost done with this side. We can turn our attention to the brakes. Now, this side took like an hour, whereas the other side took several hours, and that's because once again, I had to relearn how to do it. Now, I've done this before, but not for a while. It all comes back a little slow.
Ew.
The rusty but came out. Spring is out. So all this hardware we've got replacement for in the new kit. Something's up with the pad wear here and the wear on the disc. I'm not sure this brake was doing a lot, and I'm really glad we're doing this work right now.
It was time.
That's the right noise. Just what we needed. Comes off with no drama. Shauna is taking the file and just flattening the ends just to take off any burrs. They are
slight inconsistencies in.
Yeah, there's a little bit of painted surface there, and she's just flattening it out.
We have the new pads.
Yep. Gotta steer them a little bit. They've already decided they don't want to play nice. There we go. On all of these, I was able to leave a brake pad in place and put a clamp on it and spread the pistons back out. But on this one, they wouldn't go like that. I had to individually spread the pistons by putting a socket in there just to fill the space, then clamp and squeeze it out. It's a strange way to have to do it. I'm hoping that the pistons actually work normally. My thought here is that maybe this side is acting funny. Maybe it's stuck, not sure. We'll see.
All right, we got pads, pins, and clips all reinstalled. All right, tires going on.
Just got off of work, and I'd like to finish up the brake job and suspension replacement we've been doing. So I'm gonna start really trying to see if the shock will come loose. I wanted to start with the top nut because if it wanted to fight me, it was gonna be a fight, but I'm doing okay. It's loosening up.
How's your day?
It's okay.
Well, you're on call, so.
Well, so I had so much work to do, I didn't do much work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a hard day.
The work got in the way of the work.
Yeah. You in there?
I'm in here.
Hello?
Hello. It's hot. Ugh.
How's that going?
It's going inches at a time, buddy. Inches at a time.
Well done then.
Yep.
Well, I got to a point where I couldn't get this nut to loosen, so I had to cut the top of the shock shaft. The other side went really well, so I'm disappointed this side was harder, but it looks like we're at a place where we can pull the shock out. There we go.
Let's hope the install goes really easily.
That's my...
But because of the timing of things, I think that we're going to put the shocks in and have to do the brakes tomorrow.
I think so too. Do you know where the nut is for this one? There it is, right there.
I left it on.
So I've got a nut and a bolt right here.
All right, what can I get for you?
The other shock.
All right, hang tight. Second verse, same as the first. Andrew's reassembling the rubber bushings and little plates onto the shock. We'll pop it up into place and I'll tighten it in. And then I think that leaves us with no light and us not doing the brake job tonight.
If we get shocks done, we're doing something. There. Whew.
Was it? Did you take the band off this side already?
Yeah, I did.
Because you wanted it to be harder?
I had to get the thing on so I can almost get it in place. For this rear brake, let me get you up to speed. Got the tire off. We've got the caliper here removed and set back here on a paint can. 2 bolts holding that on. I've gone for the clamp technique once again to open it up so that it's open enough to get some fresh pads in. My next frustration is this is pretty well stuck on, and I'm gonna run down this bolt to see if it will pry it off. Good news is it moved a little. I'm gonna go for the other hole, or up here, see if I get it the rest of the way. On the back, this is the drum for the parking brake and the disc for the regular caliper brake for driving around. But parking brake is hidden on the inside. If you've been with us since Dreamboat, you'll definitely remember this style brake. In those dualies on the back of Dreamboat, there's a huge, huge version of this. I'd like to just take a minute and remember the brake job that we did at the Airstream factory campground on the back of Dreamboat. And with the new disc on, I've got to figure out the little clips that hold the brake pads in place. Replacing these thin metal clips is not too hard, but if you're going to do a job like this yourself, watch how they come out and carefully realign them. So here's something I really don't like. This pad is probably worn out to the point where it's damaged this rotor. This is one of the main reasons to replace the rotors and not just try to shortcut the whole situation with a fresh set of pads. And there it is. Up on this end, this pad is worn completely off. Paper thin in the middle, slightly thicker at this end, but this is the main reason why we got to do this project.
Did you get the awning in?
The little one? So we are out testing the suspension on a pretty rough section of road. I think generally speaking, we're doing a lot better.
Uh-oh.
That person's not. That's definitely a car stuck in the floodwater. Let's go see if there's anything we can do. There's a bad decision. If the 4Runner's not going in, it's too deep for a Honda.
Andrew's gonna go help push him out. You gotta be so careful here in Texas. Because these floodwaters, they come up fast. Gross, man. I'd have totally come and picked him up so that he didn't have to walk back through. Yucko. Ugh.
I'm gonna get tetanus.
Ooh.
I'm gonna get tetanus.
I'm gonna need you to like scrub your toes and anything else that first we're gonna need some dish soap and some antibacterial something.
I'm not turning any of it down.
Ew.
Not turning any of it down.
The good news is the truck stopped.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Brakes are good.
Yeah.
Let's give it another test. You wanna give it a test?
No. Testing the suspension right now. Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
This industrial park is a little...
This is so rough.
We
All right.
wanted to go somewhere where we wouldn't interfere with traffic. It turns out all kinds of different things were happening.
All right, I'm gonna hit the brakes hard. Ready?
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. That's
Very
good.
nice.
Okay.
And you know what's frosting on the cake, Andrew? We've saved almost a month in wages.
Yeah.
I feel like we've won the day, bud.
I think so too.
And we didn't get stuck in that water.
I don't think it was 100% water. Yeah, I don't think this flooding was going to be the worst we've seen at this campground, but...
Hey, it pays to stay vigilant, man. I can't even begin to fathom flooding our already flood trailer.
Yeah. No,
I can't.
No interest. I Gave that guy my number in case he's still stuck there. He's trying to call a tow truck, but nobody's really committing to come and getting him. He's called a few. I think we fixed it. Really? Yeah, I think we fixed it. Straight on. Well, guys, that's all we got for this week. We'll see you next week.